everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Cape Rugby TV here on Cape Town TV. Mr. Herman Abrams is away, Jerome Parvater is away, our regular panel, of course, a little bit broken up then. But with me on the show this evening, as usual, is the famous Morgan Newman. Hello, Morgs.
How's it, chaps? How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to, another week of club rugby. I think it's been going pretty well. We've had some interesting results, but, the amateur squad's away at the moment. They had a pretty good result over the weekend, 83-0. Do you think that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for?
Yeah, it definitely is, Jeff. I think, if you look at the amount of club rugby players we have that are out there, and that's sort of the cream of the crop that are there. So, yeah, there's no reason why they can't go there and do well and bring some silverware back to Cape Town.
So, well, that's that's the whole thing. Is that sort of that pride factor is like how do you measure it? Apart from wearing the blue and white.
Yeah, look, I think it's so when the trophy cabinet's full, then I suppose you think you're being successful, amongst other things, amongst obviously the fact that if you're bringing youngsters that are coming through and guys that are performing, then that's also a positive, enough guys in the Springbok side and that kind of thing. So yeah, at this stage Western Province is doing well, I think, and the amateur side will, I'm sure, continue in that trend.
Well, folks, we did catch up with Herman Abrams this morning, and they got us a little bit of footage from the match on Monday. Let's catch up with the amateur squad, who's of course the cream of the crop of the amateur side, those are the guys we've been trying to get into the team. Let's catch up with them now and see what's happening on tour. The guys are in Oudtshoorn, and they've got a couple of tough matches this season, or at least this week, and let's hope they have the very best of luck. Let's take a quick look now at the results in Super League A. Still a lot of games being switched out, a lot of games being delayed because of water and waterlogged pitches, and quite a few people are a little bit concerned about the fact that the fields just can't seem to handle the water out there. Well, let's take a look now at the results in Super League A. A couple of tough matches there over the weekend. False Bay 27-19 over Villagers, and Marties 33-13 over Tygerberg. Morgs, Villagers still not cutting it. They look like they're going to go down. 27-19 loss for them against False Bay.
Yeah, James, that's obviously a big battle going on down at the bottom there. And yeah, False Bay will be happy to come away with the result there. So I don't know, Villagers with 4 games left, or 3 or 4 games left to play, I think they're going to be struggling to stay up in Super League A.
But there's not a lot that they can do at this stage. Everybody seems to be sort of fixed with the fact that it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, James, I don't know. There's still 4 games left. So you're looking at about 20 points if you manage to bag 5 points in every game. So there's no reason why you can't sort of sneak 1 or 2 wins there. But yeah, it definitely doesn't look good. And I'm sure the players, Rito Shangwani, the coach, I'm sure he's having a bit of trouble keeping the boys motivated.
The other interesting result was, of course, Marties 33-13 over Tygerberg. Marties playing away to Tygerberg. Not an easy match, huh?
Yeah, look, it's never easy to go down to Florida Park and get a result. So yeah, Stellenbosch are very happy with that result, and then the weather didn't play along. So yeah, Stellenbosch have got to get 5 points now in every game to give Durban a run for the money towards the end of the league. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully the weather stays dry so that you can run the ball a little bit.
Is that what it's about now? It's about playing. If you're at the top 1 or 2, are you playing for league honours? Yeah,
that's what it is. Like our big debate always goes. You wonder, is it about the winning of the league, or is it about the sort of the camaraderie and the spirit in the side? So Stellenbosch are definitely out to want to win the league and bring some silver back to Stellenbosch, because that hasn't happened for a while. They haven't won the Varsity Cup and they haven't won the league in a while. So yeah, it's definitely something that Stellenbosch would like to do.
Well, let's take a look now at Super League B then. 20-point win for Helderberg over Goodwood. We were over there over the weekend, and that was quite a humdinger. Well, I wouldn't really say it was a humdinger, but it didn't go as easy for Helderberg as they would have liked, and Goodwood desperately disappointed with the fact that they came away with a loss there. They really are having come up. I spoke to Gerard Rademan, we're going to show him in a minute, the coach there, and he was saying what a difference it is to step up from Premier League A into Super League B. He's saying that the game is 4 or 5 meters faster, the average weight is 4 or 5 kilos higher. That makes an enormous difference moving from one league to the next.
Yeah, look, James, I think it definitely is a sort of a big step up for the boys. And we've seen so many upsets this season already, and I think Goodwood would definitely have backed themselves to give the log leaders a run for their money.
I know Helderberg wanted a better result though. In the beginning of the game they looked a little bit wishy-washy. I know there was the wind factor and the rain factor. Rain wasn't so bad though on Saturday. but Helderberg would have wanted to come away with a better result. 2014, not a big result.
Yeah, 2014, I think Helderberg would definitely back themselves to get a bit more points on the guys that have just come up. In the same way that I think, all the other teams that are at the top, I mean, your points difference also plays a role coming towards the end of the season. So, if you're playing against the teams in the lower, sort of in the bottom half of the table, you like to get some points and increase your points difference.
Yeah, well, we did also catch up with the. Well, let's take a look at the highlights of the match now between Goodwood and Helderberg. Helderberg coming away with a win there. Let's see what happened.
Go there! Boys, get the scrum! Obstruction, Mr. Rip! Lekker man!
How's it, James? Cold and wet. And full of stress.
Well, there you go, folks. Highlights there of the match between Helderberg and Goodwood. Of course, also we managed to catch up with the captain and coach of Goodwood, Gert Rademan, coaching the side there, who did such a fantastic job bringing the team back from Premier League A, but having a bit of a rough time now in Super League B. And let's talk to the losing captain and coach of Goodwood. Right, folks, with me now is the coach of Goodwood, Gert Rademan. Gert, nie wat julle vandag wel gehad het nie, né?
Ja, nee, ons het goed voorberei die week wat verby was en ons het vir beter uitslag gehoop natuurlik. Paar oordeelkundige foute wat ons gemaak het vandag, maar ek is taamlik bly oor 'n goeie spanpoging in elk geval.
Hoe voel dit om in hierdie liga te speel? Ek meen, dit was vir julle 'n paar games hierdie seisoen sommer net naalskraap, né?
Ja, is 'n bietjie moeilik. Jy weet, ons het opgekom van verlede jaar, maar ons het 'n baie goeie jaar gehad. Nou hierdie jaar ewe skielik hierdie game is nou 2 tot 3 meter vinniger en 'n paar van die ouetjies gesukkel in die begin van die seisoen om aan te pas. Dit het net al beter gegaan as so aan. En is jammer dat ons nou eers aan die einde van die seisoen so goed moet kan perform, jy weet. Maar dis maar tough league hier. Dis baie maklik hier, né?
En soos jy sê, ek meen Helderberg is 'n goeie span.
Ja nee, Helderberg is 'n goeie span. Alles van die beste vir hulle in die topliga daarbo. Dit gaan nie baie maklik wees hè. Hulle is bietjie swaar voor. Dit is bietjie gekelder in die skrams. Maar ek dink nogtans my ouens het moedig beklei in die game. Dat ja wel.
Wel luister, alles van die beste van die res van die seisoen. Die game season is nog nie oor nie.
Dankie en beste vir julle ook in elk geval.
Thanks, Gert. Folks, with me now is the captain of Goodwood, Rikus Swanepoel. Rikus, vandag was 'n do-or-die match vir julle, né?
Ja, nee, dit is 'n vital game geweest. Ons is desperate op soek na ligapunte. Ons het almal punte uit die game gekry, maar ja, dit was alles gegee.
Helderberg is 'n tawwe span.
Ja, zwaar voor. Hulle is taaf oor die raks en so, maar ja, dink ons ouens het goed gedoen. Teen 'n baie swaar pak.
Maar ek hoor julle ouens het groot planne vir die toekoms hierso. Die boys is nog steeds alhoewel hulle nou nie 100% gegaan vir julle vandag nie. Die boys het nog steeds 'n goeie gees en is 'n lekker klub hierso.
Ja, nee, die ouens ons het nou lekker die laaste 2 weke goeie momentum opgetel en nee, die ouens staan nou lekker saam. Ons op die stadium wil ons net survive en ja, vat ons dit vorentoe van volgende jaar.
Wel, ek weet dit is bietjie koud en nat en miserable op die oomblik, so hopelik gaan julle maar nou weer ietsie koud geniet.
Ja, nee, definitief.
Morg's a tough one for Gert. He understands he's up against the challenges, having just jumped up, 2 up, 2 down this season. They don't really know what to do. Obviously hoping, I mean, it seems like the coolest did a kerk, so to speak. We're not going to do the logs this week. I mean, we sort of nosed the top and bottom. But, you know, how do you tell a team like that to keep their chin up?
Yeah, James, it is a tough one. I think, you know, it's this time of the season now with 4 games left and, you know, I don't know, the guys sort of struggle to keep the guys motivated. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's lots to play for. Like I said, there are still 20 points up for grabs. So, you know, and to walk away and maybe to drop to another division with a few wins under your belt and knowing that you can get back there in a season is sometimes motivation enough. So I'm sure Gert will keep the boys motivated and you'll see good play some good rugby next season in Super League B.
We also managed to catch up with the winning captain and coach of Helderberg, and it also so happened that our Tata man of the match happened to be the captain of Helderberg at the same time. Let's hear what the boys had to say and watch them get that check of R1,000. Once again, so short to be able to give it to a club rugby player.
Right, folks, with me now is Enrico Swart, the captain of Helderberg. Enrico, lekker win for you guys.
Yeah, it was a good win. It was tough at times. I think we could have done much better. We're a much better team, but I think we shot ourselves in the foot today.
Did the wind have an impact? I mean, you guys played, I think, against the wind in the first half, and then the second half it changed to your side.
Yeah, we normally prefer to play against the wind because that's when we get points on the board. But again, we did all the hard work, and then against run of play, they scored a few tries against us. So you know, it's not the end of the world. We'll go back and work hard.
And you guys were up top there last year. You've come down to Super League B, and looks like you're going back up to Super League A if things go your way. Are you guys anticipating that, or are you thinking game per game?
Well, we're thinking game per game at the moment. We'd love to go back. We came down. We want to go back up, so we're going to work hard for the last 4 games to get back up there.
Well, listen, we also know that you managed to go over the white line a few times today, and as a result, and your great efforts today, we've got R1,000 for you, courtesy of Tata, because you are not only the captain today, you're also our Tata man of the match.
Thanks, Jake.
And to hand over the man of the match check, I'm going to ask Paul Reinecker, the president of Goodwood, to hand over. And there you can see the Tata man of the match. Paul,
congratulations. Paul.
Nice to give a player R1,000 in club rugby.
Yes, it comes in handy for the club players. It's all needed.
Absolutely, and didn't go your way today, but I mean, Goodwood, great gears. You've got a nice little clubhouse going, and obviously, a bit of a season didn't go quite your way this year, but things looking on the up.
That's correct. As our coach mentioned, I mean, it's starting to pick up now, a bit late in the season, but I mean, we shouldn't be where we are at the moment, so low down on the league, you know.
But some of your work on though. I mean, you're going
to. No, it's not the end of the road for us. We'll fight till the end.
Listen, Paul, well, once again, thanks for having us here on the day. It's been, well, the weather could have been better, but it was always fantastic watching rugby. And to Enrico over here, congratulations. Elrich, Enrico. To Enrico. To Enrico, congratulations once again on your Tata man of the match. And Paul, thanks for having us.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure having Cape TV and Helderberg here, and good luck for the rest of the season.
There you go. Well
Thanks,
done.
Thanks,
With me now is the coach of Helderberg, Bo Scumman. Bo, good win for you guys today.
Yeah, I think we came here to get a win, and that was the main mission here today. And then from there we wanted to get the bonus, but unfortunately we played a bit scrappy and made a lot of mistakes. And I think we just have to go back to the drawing board and work hard on those basic things. So.
You got some fairly big guys up front there, huh?
Yeah, I think the guys from the Helderberg area, we feed them well, and we try and everything the best to sort of get them conditioned before the season, things like that. And like I said, we just couldn't bring it together today as a team. A lot of individual playing, But otherwise, like I say, there's coach is never 100% satisfied. There's always something that you've got to go and work on, you know.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that when a team loses and comes down a league, that the team then tends to drop its head. And I predicted at the beginning of the season that you guys would not drop your head after maybe a few years of a bit of a rough ride. You came down out of Super League A, down to Super League B, and without any hesitation, you lifted the game, and it looks like you're going back up.
Yeah, you know, we coaches together with Ricky and Coach Nico de Villiers. We coach because we want to get up there again. We like to play amongst the big guns and things like that, and it's going to take a lot of preparation for next year. So there's a lot of hard work as far as next year. As you know, Super A is incredibly tough. And we just try and do everything we can to develop players, and not only looking at first team players, but right through until right up until the under 20s. So we develop. That's important. It's not just about rugby; it's about life, and it's about the community. So we try and bring everything like that together.
Bo, that's really what it means is from a community perspective, and to give a club longevity, is to build the depth with second team, the third team, and bring the youngsters through.
Correct. Yeah. No, we focus. That's why we got Ricky on board. He does a lot of prowling around amongst all the players, and not only we don't just focus on the first team. We do a lot of targeting at the junior level, and any guy that put up his hand and show that he wants to do a thing, then we bring them through. Eighth man that we brought up towards the end, Carl, he's only 19, 20 years old. Unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago, he hurt his shoulder, and he was chosen he was in the lineup for the amateur side for the Western Provinces. So you've got a lot of exciting players down below, and that's very exciting for us, and we're working hard on them as well.
Well, I think Super League A is going to have a tough time with Helderberg back in the mix next year, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
No, thanks very much. We appreciate it very much, and thanks for the opportunity. We hope for the best, and we'll keep on working hard at ground level.
Well, let's hope for some decent weather for a change.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much.
There we go, folks. Bo Skuman, the coach of Helderberg, and Helderberg, well, it certainly didn't drop their heads. It was one way, coming out of Super League A, put their heads back up, and looks like they're going back to the top. We'll see you guys in a mo.
Oh, there you go, folks. Our winning captain and coach of Helderberg, and Bo looking rather happy there, the coach of Helderberg. And that's what they were looking for, Morgs, they dropped out of Super League A. It was obviously heartbreaking for them, and now they're back in. It looks like they're coming back into Super League. Back into Super League A after dropping out. I mean, and it takes quite a lot for a team to not drop their chins. I mean, you got to give them credit there.
Yeah, Jess, always, when you drop to sort of a lower division, then guys often, the coach often, there's despondency, and then the guys sort of, go to different teams, and I'm sure they've lost a lot of players, but I see they've managed to keep quite a bit of continuity there. So, yeah, we'll see Helderberg back in Super League A sort of next season, and then, yeah, I'm sure they'll definitely sort of increase their depth and have a few players back and compete for the title in Super League A.
Quite a big pack. I don't know, you might not have played against Helderberg because you obviously played Super League A, but they've got some big guys in Super League B, and they look like they're going to stand their ground in Super League A.
Yeah, look, James, I think they always breed them big down in Strand, so I'm sure they'll have no problem, sort of taking on the bigger packs in Super League A.
We also managed to catch up with what we refer to as one of the biggest fans in rugby. So every club has got its biggest fan, and at Goodwood, Dani has been there for 29 years. He looks after the club, and he packs away the flags and the pole protectors, and those are the kind of people you want at your club. So let's catch up with Dani from Goodwood.
Dani, hulle sê vir my jy's Goodwood's de grootste rugby fan.
Ek is 'n Goodwood rugby fan. Ek ben baie van die klub en hulle kan van my klaar kom nie.
Hulle sê jy's al meer as amper 30 jaar nou al hier.
Ja, ek is 30 jaar al in die klub al en ek is lekker gelukkig hierso in my klub.
En jy kyk na al die geriewe hierso na die game.
Ja, ek wil klaar sal alles af en dan gebeur alles.
Ja, maar luister, is fans soos jy wat die clubs aan die gang hou, né? Wel gedaan.
Dankie hoor.
There we go, folks. That's what it means to be a club rugby fan. 29 years at Goodwood.
Well, there you go. Donnie has been at Goodwood for 29 years. He's thrilled, he loves being there, always doing his little thing. Every fan has, at least every club has the kind of that kind of a human being at a club who's passionate about the club and who wants to make things work there. Let's look at the rest of the results now in Super League B. Kells River losing to NNK, 11 points in 10. Hands on Hearts didn't play over the weekend. Morgs, but if we look here at NNK, it was a 1 point win for them over Kells River. They would have wanted a bigger result. I mean, NNK are striving to make it into Super League A this year.
Yeah, James, NNK have had a sort of a hot and cold season. I think they've played some really good rugby. And then we've also seen them, you know, sort of sneak a win here and lose to teams they shouldn't have lost to. So I think they've had a bit of a up and down season. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously pushing to get into Super League A. And then if they do get there, then I'm sure, again, the same will happen to them, what happened to Heidelberg. They'll receive a few more players and they'll sort of, you know, have a bit more motivation. And you'll see them fight to stay in Super League A, because with 2 teams down and 2 teams up, it's quite a cutthroat situation, I think. So
tough.
It's very tough for teams to you know, stay up once they make the promotion.
Do you like the new format?
Yeah, James, I think I like it because it makes it extremely competitive, but I do think it is cutthroat in terms of the fact that it's very difficult to make it sort of, you know, if you think there's 9 teams in a league, and just to be sort of 7th or 8th, you got to pick up quite a few wins on the road, and I think the teams will struggle to do that, and that's one thing that I think may just be a little bit tweaked, if we call it that. You know, it's sort of maybe 1 team down, 1 team up will help the teams a little bit more.
Well, one of the things that I was thinking about that is that if, you know, maybe there could be a system that, because it's very difficult for, if you come up into another league, to survive in that league and not sort of, you're going to have to make it into the top 7 positions, so to speak, you know. So if you're in the bottom 1 or 2, so the chances are good that if you're just coming up, you're probably going to be in the bottom 1 or 2, which means you get relegated immediately. So I was thinking that maybe what they could do is, instead of just shoving you 2 up and then putting you at risk, I mean, look at what's happened with the Kings now. They're going to play in Super 15, and if there's a relegation period at the end of the year, it's goodbye. They're going to drop out straight away again, unless the Lions weakens significantly more, you know, in terms of if there was that type of play out. Although I know we still have to wait and see what's going to happen in Super 15. But the question that I've got is, why not give those 2 clubs that come up some sort of leniency period, like give them a guaranteed year where you can't get relegated, if it has to be a 2 up and 2 down, because at least you then have a chance to find your feet. You know, making that jump from one league to the next is a big leap, especially in the higher divisions.
Yeah, James, it really is a tough one. But I mean, the Kings example is the easiest example to use, and I think the same will happen to a lot of teams if that is the case. So I think they should maybe do sort of odds evens years. If you take it like sort of 2012, there's only relegation again in 2014. So that helps teams sort of get 2 years of sort of, you know, where players can adjust to the speed of the game. Players can build a side, because I mean, when you're going up a division, also depth becomes a problem. I mean, you're playing in a higher league now, the physicality and all that kind of thing. Players pick up injuries, and then depth becomes a problem. So if we can't sort of stick with a depth issue, then we're really going to sit with problems. And I think that's where coaches will be good in sort of going and recruiting players and going, hey, listen, we're going up. Maybe we should, you know, bring a few players over.
I don't know. It sounds to me like it's going to start then getting like quite complicated. You know, I think people are going to lose the plot altogether. So possibly it's a system we just might never see. Let's look at the rest of the results there now. At least in Premier League A. In Premier League A, it was Scotstoun losing to Paarl 24-19, and the Rangers were losing to Hamlets 24-20. Again, more matches not being played over the weekend. A lot of tough fixtures, situations there for the clubs with all those waterlogged fields. Milnerton 16-3 over Strand United. Silvertree didn't play. Laguna didn't play, and Solarians beating Macassar 17-0. Morgs, Macassar obviously going down as Solarians there. I mean, I know the Solarians are probably stocked up with lots and lots of fish and chips, but I mean, after that win for Macassar at a home ground, I'm sure that's not what they were expecting.
Yeah, Jess, I actually clearly remember the Solarians coach saying that they were waiting for them to come back to Solarians.
Yeah.
So they clearly prepared well. And yeah, I mean, it's a home ground advantage. Maybe that also plays a role. I'm sure they had quite a few supporters out there sort of backing the boys. I know Macassar have quite a big following, and we saw that when we were out there. So yeah, I think that definitely played a role. And yeah, good one to Solarians. I think they, obviously played some good rugby, and it's a good Macassar side.
Let's take a look now at the results in Division 1 there. Rocklands drawing with the Northerns 13-all, and Busy Bees drawing with Rugby 5-all. Well, there's two tough matches. Manenberg Rangers losing to Hamadias 14-10 in Division 2. It was Blue Jets who didn't play over the weekend. Northern Gardens Tech and Kylemore and All Saints. A 7-6 win for All Saints over Kylemore. In Division 3, Strand Pioneers, well, it was them seeing the negative side of the match against Caledonia Roses 15-5. And Masipumalele 20-7 over Retreat. And of course in the Paarl region, it looks like things were a little bit drier in the Paarl region. It was a 14-13 win for Paarl Rangers over Paarl, or at least over Violet's Paarl. And then Young Gardens drawing with Allendale, Riverstone 17-6 over Vineyards, and Lower Paarl 64-0 against 64-0, yeah, 64-0 for Lower Paarl against Simondium. Morgs 64-0, here we go again. I mean, those kind of results. It's a little bit crazy. Simondium 64-0. I mean, what do you do with a team that's losing 64-0?
Yeah, James, I don't know. That coach has got a tough job on his hands. But I mean, yeah, there's no relegation for the guys in the Paarl region. So, you know, again, begs you got to think: is there sort of motivation? Are the players motivated to want to win those games, or is it the case of, you know, sort of just rocking up and going through the motions, as you know, as they say?
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately the way that the cookie crumbles, so to speak. But I think a lot of those clubs also are just fielding teams for the sake of playing rugby, and so, you know, if you're playing rugby, you're having fun. Doesn't matter really what the score is, you know. So great stuff. We'll just, you know, even if it is naught, I know your hearts are breaking out there.
Yeah, I didn't know so much.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, it's time now to look after our sponsors. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier of DHL Stormers and Western Province Rugby. And this week we're going to give you something just a little bit different. We're going to give you a bucket. Oops, folks, here we go. 5 kilo bucket of Mega Grow. There you can see it. It's as easy as that, right? 5 kilo bucket of Mega Grow. If you want to win for yourself this bucket of Mega Grow, all you need to do is tell us who's the official sports nutrition. This is a big bucket of meal replacement, by the way. This will last you about 6 weeks or so. You mix it up in a shaker twice. And then, Morgs, you take the meal replacement, right?
Yeah, James, I do. I also take the meal replacement. Obviously, this time of the season, it's very, very important for the guys to be taking it because, like I said, you know, you lose quite a bit of weight during the season, and some you know, with some teams playing Saturday and Wednesday, it's important to keep the you know, the protein levels and the meal intake sort of at 6 meals a day if you can. So yeah, I'm one of those that's taking it. And
you're keeping your tank full during the day,
yeah,
so to speak.
There's also training in the evenings is also, you know, if the guys work and stuff during the day, then, you know, they don't often get to eat as much as you would normally. So, you know, sort of getting these meal replacements in is definitely important to keep your tank full by the time you get to training at whatever, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is that the cost of protein is so high today. You go out there and you want to buy tuna or steak, things like that. It's quite expensive, so you save a lot of money as well by buying things like meal replacements.
Yeah, I mean, look, to get the amount of, you take me 3 scoops of Mega Grow, you know, it's sort of, it's 120 grams of protein. If you're thinking of if you think of what it's going to cost you to eat a steak of 120 grams, then, you know, sometimes it's
40 grams or 38 grams in a 100 gram serving. So
yeah, you know what I mean. So, and then, you know, if you think of what it's going to cost you to have that during your lunch break, then I think it's a good steak at some expensive restaurant. So you know, it's definitely the cheaper option.
Yeah, it's either that or a Gatsby. Right, folks, well, if you want to win for yourself this big 5 kilo bucket of Mega Grow, all you need to do is SMS us now 33280. All right, there you go. This monster bucket, and that'll certainly keep your tank full. 33280. Let's take a look now at last week's winner. Last week's winner was Neville Kivitz. Congratulations, Neville. You win for yourself that Evox Rapid Recovery Pack together with a Mega Grow and a creatine thrown in the mix there. SMS your name and answer to 33280. You can see the number on the screen right now. It is fairly simple. Well, there you go, folks. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby. Morgs, when we get to this time of the season, or this time of the year, I mean, we're now, like you say, 4 or 5 games left. Do you think that any players or coaches or clubs are sort of losing the plot a little bit? Do they start getting bored? Or does the vibe start increasing? This is like, it's either do or die.
Well, James, I think at this stage of the season, everyone's got something to play for. I mean, if you look at the bottom 2 are going down, so top bottom 4 guys have all got something to play for, and if you think of the 9 guys, sort of 9 teams in the league, and then the top 4 have obviously got something to play for in terms of wanting to get into, either win the league or be in the top 3, which is always a prestigious honour in any of the leagues. So I think there's always something to play for, and the guys are still working very hard to achieve those goals.
Do you think that joining a rugby club is like joining a gym? If you want to just be fit and healthy, can you play rugby, or do you need to really do both? I mean, if you just want to say maybe more of a social occasion.
Look, Jeps, I mean, there are social teams out there. I know there's a social league also that the guys are running. So if you want to be a little bit more social, then I know you can join the social leagues. But then again, I mean, I would say it's a lot better than joining a gym. And joining a gym it's all on your own and it's lonely. You join a rugby club, you go and you're joining 22 other guys on a Saturday for a draw on the rugby field and a few drinks afterwards, So
and how much? Yeah. By the way, how much rugby do you guys play in the off season? I mean, when you're finished with the season, there's sevens. Are you like one of these guys who after on the weekend get together or in the evening get together and play a little bit of touch on the nearest field?
Yeah, that's how I used to keep fit during off season. You sort of get about 10 or 20 guys together and you find a field somewhere and you play some touch rugby. And it's the best way to keep fit. It keeps the skills up, because that's often what people don't realize is what you often lose during the off season is your skills. I mean, just playing with a rugby ball and touch rugby and on the beach during summers,
Well, I was about to say, if you play your touch rugby in the right place, like if you go down to the Seaboard Promenade, you've got a good view at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of you're getting a 2-for-1 bargain there. So that's definitely something. Then I know there's also these there's touch tournaments that run during the December holidays and that kind of thing. So there are all these different tournaments that guys can get involved in, enter teams and have a draw.
It's time now, folks, for us to take a look at the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign, brought to you courtesy of Vodacom. The club champs have been climbing in, they've been getting some great points, and of course that means that there's going to be some great prizes for many of the teams out there. It's time now for our I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. Club rewards then. Elsies Rafira is at the top of the pile on 2,063 points. Retreats on 1,427 in second place. Whistling Wheels on 878. Union Mills on 820. And Scottsdene is on 492 points. Rocklands on 419. Violets on 400. Lunga on 351. Northerns on 252. Silurians is on 220. Remember, you can earn some points for your club. 2 points if you just upload a picture or a video clip of your club to ilovewpclubrugby.co.za. SMS the name of your club to 3275 to register as a supporter. MMS pictures or video clips of your club to 082 008 0196. That gets you 5 points. And if you want a massive 20 points, why not register right now for M-Pesa? And it'll give you 20 points for your club. Remember, all you need to do is contact your club champ for more information. And if you switch to red, in other words, switch from one to the other, one cell phone provider to the other, it'll get you 50 points for your club. The rewards are as follows: 50 water bottles if you have just 500 points, 25 kit bags for 1,000 points, 2,000 points gets you 25 club-specific branded rain jackets, and 22 sublimated rugby jerseys gets you 4,000 points. That's what you need to do to get in the mix with the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. Morgs, now having looked at the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign, it looks like there are a couple of teams that are very close to it. Scottsdene are just 8 points from getting the 500 point mark there, I think. So Scottsdene's gone down a little bit, but they're on 492. They need just 8 more points, only a couple of SMSs, and then they're in the mix for their first set of prizes. Rocklands need 81 points only. That puts them in the mix to get also the water bottle. Is it the water bottle pack for 500 points? Yeah, immediately gets them. So Rocklands is very close. Violet needs 100 points to get them to 500, and Lunga need 149 to get them to 500. Okay, so if you were at these clubs, how would you encourage the club members to go and get together and reach for those points?
Well, Jeff, I mean, look, they obviously, I mean, the easiest way is just to go out to the games on a Saturday, take your phone out, take some good pictures and send them in, and I think it earns you 5 points or 2 points, you know. So, I mean, that's just the easiest way. You get 5 or you get.
So basically, let me just understand that. You take a picture with your phone, any picture, club rugby picture that you like, and you MMS it to that 082 008 0196 number, and that gives you 5 points.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Easy as that.
Take a picture, and most phones have got MMS.
Yeah, and then it's obviously, if I read the instructions correctly, then it's obviously the fact that each person can only send in 10 pictures, a maximum of 10 pictures. So that's
it's still 50 points.
It's still 50 points, you know. So you get 10 people doing that, and you're looking at 500 points as it is, you know. So yeah, it's there's definitely sort of a lot of incentives, and I think Vodacom will really come to the party in terms of this event. I know that if you keep a close eye, I'm keeping a close eye on their Facebook and Twitter accounts. And I know that there are also a lot of mini competitions that they're running, and sort of, you know, if people are coming to the party with tweets and with Facebooks, and I know that they're running competitions where you can earn 30 or 25 points.
But now there's only 2 or 3 more days left. I think it closes on Friday at 3 o'clock. So folks, if you're watching on sort of repeat, remember the 31st of August is the cut-off date for the M-Pesa drive. So you go to your club champ at your club can win a Vodacom phone, that 852.
Yes, that's right. And then, yeah, I mean, the club.
The clubs with the most points, they win for themselves the tog bags.
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, look, for the month of August, Vodacom have run this mini competition within the competition. So, the club with the most M-Pesa registrations earns for themselves the kit bags. And yeah, that's an easy way for the guys to walk away with some branded Vodacom kit bags.
And I see there is now a club hotline that you can find out more about the campaign. That number, folks, on your screen right now, 072 047 0761. That's, of course, part of the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. Yeah, you can get 20 points straight away by activating those M-Pesa rewards. So why not get yourself in the mix there, and it's fairly simple, alright? It's fairly simple to just get yourself straight into the picture. Okay, so Leisure Hotels is another one of our official suppliers. We're going to get to at least a prize surprise here on the Cape Rugby TV show. We'll get down to that in a minute or so. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Alternatively, you can find us on Twitter, and I know that the Twitter stream is getting quite hot now. Morgs, are you following the hashtag, #WP Club Rugby?
Yeah, James, as I must say, as soon as I walk up the field on a Saturday, the first thing I do is, you know, sort of follow the stream and see how the different results are going, because obviously it's the time of the season now where guys, you know, results are really important. So yeah, I'm definitely following it, and yeah, keeping a close eye on the results, and it's quite a bit of banter going on there.
And it's not hard to do though. You just pull out your phone inside the field and tweet #WP Club Rugby, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, in the past it used to be a case of sending an SMS or making a phone call. Now it's literally all the results at your fingertips. So yeah, it's good to see people getting involved and you know, interacting on that platform.
What kind of tweets do you read mostly? Is it scores, or are you interested in the banter?
James, I think I like to read the banter. I don't get involved in it too much. But yeah, I mean, it's just the case of, you know, listen to people's different views and their, you know, and sort of their ideas and what they feel of the game. I mean, from any sort of rugby, from club rugby all the way through to the Springboks. I mean, obviously, you know, with the Springboks performance on the weekend, there was a lot of, you know, conversation and chat about that. So I was quite interested in that. But then again, the same goes for, you know, how teams performed on the weekend when it comes to club rugby, and that's obviously where the people are, you know, sort of most on the side of the field interacting.
Well, I love it. I mean, I love watching, and what I love to see is people asking, like, what was the latest score? You know, and I said, just follow the channel, follow the Twitter hashtag channel. Anyway, one of our other suppliers, of course, Leisure Hotels. If you want to win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers, all you need to do is SMS the word leisure to 33280. 33280. You put yourself in the mix to win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Fantastic. Strand Towers has been supporting us for so long. That's what keeps the Cape Rugby TV show alive. Right, so if you want to win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast, all you need to do is SMS the word leisure to 33280. And the winner from last week is Gavin Tertians. Congratulations, Gavin. You win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Somebody will be in touch with you shortly. It's time now for us to take a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend in Super League A. It's Durban up against Vix. Alright, those are the Friday night fixtures, folks. So, of course, with all these games that have been postponed and delayed, you're going to see quite a big spread of matches being played over the different nights and different times, and it's going to be quite hard for us to keep track of all of those various games. I know that the clubs have to make arrangements between themselves as well. So on Friday night we see Durban up against Vix. Morgs, what do you make of that?
Yeah, James, that's a big game, obviously, and Vix and Stellenbosch obviously being so close to one another. It's a case of Vix maybe doing Stellenbosch a favour and getting a result against Durban. But Durban are playing good rugby and it's never easy to go down there. So yeah, it'll be interesting game to go down and watch if you want to watch some good quality Super League A rugby.
Yeah, I mean Durban have been fairly dominant this season, as you would know. I mean, they certainly are not holding back at the moment.
Yeah, look, they've got a lot to play for. They've got the club champs also that's something to play for. So they're building and and they're looking way beyond the next 4 games that's in the league. They've got some big tournament to go and play. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how they progress up until the club champs.
Other fixtures over the weekend. This is also once again on Friday night is Brackenfell up against Collegians. They're playing at Brackenfell. This is in Super League B. Collegians will be looking to regain a little bit of momentum, having now come out of the fast. But already, I mean, we see a lot of players. I was speaking to Labib Levy, the guys at SK Warmers are they're starting to get in their straps. They're getting energy levels back up. I mean, Collegians Brackenfell, that's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, that's always that's always going to be a tough one, and I think Collegians will be sort of because of the fact that they were having their fast, obviously looking to build again. It's often they can go through a bit of a lapse during the fast, and obviously the energy levels and that kind of thing have got to get back there. So, but I'm sure the boys are working when they're training when they could. So I mean, I know a few of the guys from Collegians, and they were saying that they were obviously in the evenings once you've now broken your fast, and the guys go to the gym and they still keep fit. So
they still keep training.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no reason why they won't come back and come back firing.
Oh, well, that's good news. And then, incidentally, folks, I mean, if we do get the question from time to time from people who ask, do we want to film on Friday night? It's extremely difficult for us to film on Friday night, folks, because of the light situation. Friday night games normally played at about 9 o'clock in the evening. It's kind of awkward for us. So if your game is on a Friday night, it does make it hard for us to come and film a game and put you on Cab Rugby TV. So unfortunately, we've got to, at the moment, focus our games around the Saturday spaces. And by the way, if you drive down N1 and you see that big hole in the Vibalcrete wall at Brackenfell, I queried with them over the weekend, who happened to be out at Goodwood. I think they were maybe throwing a little bit of a beady eye as to what's happening there in Super League B, but the Brackenfell guys told me that it was a taxi. A taxi had driven through the Vibalcrete wall on the N1. How do you, on the N1, drive just like suddenly left, unless unless you missed the R300. Other matches on Friday night is Hamlets up against Kraaifontein. Young People's take on Rangers. We see Milton up against Silvertree, Van der Stel and Eersterrivier, Violets and Watsonia, Blue Stars and Temperance. Those are your Friday night games. The big matches over the weekend, and we will incidentally be at the following game. Let's take a look at the Saturday fixtures now. In Super League B, it's UCT and Marty's, one of the big derby matches. Belleville take on Primrose, Lorient take on Strand United. Morgs, just in Super League A, the UCT Marty's, it's one of the biggest games of the season. They obviously have the university followings. The people who will be watching Varsity Cup will be watching the students playing at UCT. Now I know I'm going to try and keep you neutral on this one, but how do you see this one going?
Yeah, look, James, I've heard it's official inter-varsity, so that's still up and running. And when the varsities take on each other, there's always a decent crowd that comes out there, and there's a lot to play for. But again, I mean, I know that I think the Stellenbosch are losing their captain, Helmut from Lehman. I think he may be pulled up to the Currie Cup side, so that's a big blow to the Stellenbosch side. So yeah, it's going to be interesting battle down there, and yeah, let's hope the weather stays so we can see some good quality running rugby.
Yeah. In Super League B is of course Belleville and Primrose. Primrose also coming out of the fast, and they'll be looking to apply the same kind of pressure as Collegians.
Yeah, exactly. I know that I've been working hard on the Primrose side. Yeah. So yeah, look, they're obviously hoping to come out firing and keep the ball rolling.
Other matches in over the weekend on Saturday then, and once again, as we said, there's not a lot of matches on Saturday, a lot of catch-up matches that will be made on the Friday, but let's take a look at the other matches there. Solarians against Strand United, playing in Solari's Pass. Wraithby up against Hamadias, this is Division 1. Mannenberg take on Strand. Silverleaf take on Young Stars. Gardens Tech take on Atlantis. In Division 3, it's Young Ideas up against Perseverance. Caledonia Roses take on Retreat. Young Brothers take on Peninsula at Google Air 2. That's going to be a cracker of a match. Crittisville are up against the Strand Pioneers, while of course in Division 4 it's Thistle up against Delft. In the Paarl region, Parallel United against Simordium. Allendale take on Albion's Paarl Rangers, take on Young Standards. Lower Paarl and Riverstone Vineyards and Violets Flintfield United take on Young Gardens. Right, so it's going to be some interesting rugby over the weekend. Morgs, when you have matches delayed, as we have, does it break the momentum of the club?
Yeah, just obviously, you know, so often when teams are playing well, then they want to play every week and keep that sort of that Saturday momentum going. When teams are playing badly, then sometimes a break is not necessarily a bad thing. So yeah, look, it can play both ways, but I think for most teams, it's sort of, you know, it is a bit of a spanner in the works when it comes to, you know, just to preparation and all those kinds of things. You know, preparing for one team and then not playing, and then obviously having to go back and prepare for another team. So yeah, it's never sort of a nice thing to happen. But then that's Cape Town weather for you, I guess.
Right, folks, it's now time for us to take a look at our colour tone competition. If you want to win yourself a white line hamper for your club, and heavens knows every club needs it right now, all you need to do is SMS the word colour tone, COLORTONE, to 33280, and excuse me, and you can win for yourself possibly a white line hamper for your club. 33280 to SMS the word colour tone. The speech winner, NNK win for themselves a white line hamper, courtesy of Colour Tone. Congratulations, boys, for sending in those texts. Now, Super Brew is what we've been on about for the last couple of days. People, well, now, folks, I see the panel, the pool is now Morgs over, what did we say, over 950?
Yeah, James, I see it's on 970 or something, so we're almost in 1,000. So I hate to say it, but I'm sitting mid-table, which is...
but you jumped 250 positions.
I did jump 250 positions, but still sitting mid-table, so I don't know where I was before.
Alright, well, folks, it is now time for us to make those Super Brew predictions. Let's take a look and see who is playing over the weekend. Currie Cup fixtures: the Lions against Griquas, the Sharks against the Cheetahs, and Western Province take on the Bulls at Newlands. Alright, Morgs, Lions and Griquas.
James, I'm going Lions by 8.
Lions and Griquas in Joburg, Lions by 8. You know, I'll take that bet. I'll go with you on that one. I'll go with you on that. I think that's a fairly decent one to go on. Lions by 8. But no, I see Rayno Barnes is doing quite well at Griquas, captaining the side there.
Yeah, Rayno's been around for ages. I mean, he's played lots of Super 14 rugby for the Cheetahs.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, you know, good rugby player, and so it's actually funny that I haven't seen him move to another union before, because he's obviously a great rugby player, and I'm sure one of the bigger unions. Surprised one of the bigger unions haven't snapped him up yet.
Alright, Sharks and the Cheetahs?
James, that's a tough one. I'm gonna
go with the Sharks.
I want to go Sharks by 5.
Sharks by 5. Oh, heavens above, that's a tough one, eh? Yeah, I think I'll go Sharks by 10. I'll go Sharks by 10, which I normally don't do. And of course, you doubted my Bulls prediction. Eh?
I did doubt your Bulls prediction. I must say, only to sit and fry on Saturday night. And,
well, this week it's Western Province up against the Bulls, and considering the performance of Western Province over the weekend, and now they play against the Bulls, who I took for a win last week,
you're in a bit of trouble.
I have the predicament of having to choose a team here, but because I'm loyal to Western Province, and I know that they can pull a rabbit out of a hat sometimes, I will say Western Province by 10.
James, I'm going Western Province by 3. I think it's going to be a close game, and you can never go against our beloved Western Province.
Alright, well, let's take a look at how everybody else did in the Super Brew. The biggest gainers were Lynn, jumping 917 spots. Brackies, Horst, J, Dobby, Yes, Dias, Vasa, Habana, and Swanee and Dave are the biggest, and Gummy, the biggest jumpers there, unchanged. And the biggest losers, let's take a look at this. The biggest losers, Saki drops down 476 points, Manus drops down 465 points, Bandit drops down 464 points, Jojo, Gaijin, Jacola, Anslin, 453 points. I wonder if that's Anslin, Pro, 453 points down he goes. And Proppy and Marinus, or at least Marius, is, well, it has dropped 451 points. Keep sending us in predictions in, folks, if you want to join that pool. It's just a little bit of fun. At the end of the season, the top of the table rankings winner will win for themselves a a signed Western Province rugby jersey. Right, well, that is a wrap of the show this evening. It's a little bit different, just two on the panel. Next week we'll have Jerome Parvater and Morgan, at least as the Herman Abrams, back over here on the panel. And many of you might not know, but Mr. H did now officially retire. So that's why we paid the tribute out to him last week. We've had a few requests to play that tribute in again. Remember, you can catch it on YouTube and watch the tribute. Morks, best of luck for the weekend.
Yeah, thanks, James. It's going to be an interesting one down at GCT.
Yeah. There you go, folks. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, and of course, don't forget to send in those tweets over the weekend so we can follow your scores and results. And do yourself a favor, retweet. The more you retweet, the more people are going to know about it. The more people know about it, the more people are going to follow you. Have a great rugby weekend. Hopefully there's no more rain delays. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.